You're on candid camera.
Little camera fun this morning. Okay, I can put it back. It'll snap your neck. You move too fast. You want me to put it back on you? Oh gosh. So John is remote this morning. So once we get started, y'all need to vote to allow him to participate remotely. That's on the agenda. I'm ready if you all are. Are you good, John?
Yeah, just a reminder, if you don't have the microphones on, I can't hear you at all.
Somebody start.
Go ahead.
But, yeah, I don't know if I can because I'm remote.
Yeah, technically it should be you, Christina. since-
Oh, okay, then you're gonna have to tell me the words to say, the magic words.
That's fine.
I do, see? Really, that's all it is? Okay, I'm calling the meeting to order at 9:02 a.m. We have a quorum because the Jennifers and I are here, and John doesn't count for quorum? Yes? No? Okay. But we three count. Okay, so now, what do and do I go to B? So do we vote to allow Mr. Shoulder Surgery there to participate?
Do we move in second?
Yeah, we have to do that, so you need a motion?
I move to allow John to participate remotely.
Just sec.
Seconded.
So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
God, well, you're usually better at this. Okay, now we're going to adopt the agenda. Does anyone have any questions about the agenda? Is that how that works? Turn this stupid phone off.
No changes here.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Second.
Do we vote? Yeah, we're
Aye.
voting, thank God, yes.
All in favor? Aye.
Yes. And now we have previous minutes. Okay, are there any changes to the previous minutes? Anyone?
Nope.
No?
No,
Oh, those minutes were great.
Yeah, short and
I
sweet.
really enjoyed those. So,
I move to adopt the previous minutes.
Madam, can you second that? Or she's supposed to do that? Yes, and then we vote again?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Thank you, John. Yes, he's nodding his head and raising his hand. Okay, no public, no comment, right? Okay. We are all the way to F. We're killing it. Okay, so is this all you, Tyler?
All right, so update on some event planning. Trick or Treat is October 27th, beginning at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. We'll trick or treat till 7:15 roughly, and then we'll play a movie in the park right then, and it'll probably run until about 9:30.
What's the movie?
Hotel Transylvania is the newest one. I think it's called
Haven't seen that.
Transformia, it's the fourth one. We're still accepting vendor registration. We're building that list right now. And yeah, I think we're up to 10 vendors right now, looking to just keep going, get as many as we can. If anybody knows any businesses that are interested, I can give everybody the link, and it's online, it's on Facebook, Instagram, it's all that.
What's the cost for vendors?
It's $25.
Okay.
Are we asking these vendors if they would like to sponsor Marvin Day?
Oh yeah,
Yes?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And following Trick or Treat, Brew and Q will be November 18th. It will be from 2 to 5 in the afternoon. We're also building that list. It's a competitive cook-off, and we're spreading the word around, putting it everywhere, trying to get competitors. It's going to be a $10 entry, and it's going to be BYOB, and you sample all the barbecue and all the sides, all the food that's made there on site.
$10 for people just to get in?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. $10 like general admission entry fee, and then we have a $150 competitive fee, and that's going to cover like your entry fee and all the meat and all the food you're going to cook and all that. Lastly, the last one will be the tree lighting will be December 9th from 5 to 7. Santa Claus will be there. Cookies will be there, hot chocolate.
How there is the elf?
The elf will be there.
The elf is everywhere.
He's never,
I did a great job last year.
Yes, you did.
we're looking forward to that.
It's a
Hey,
call.
Tyler.
Hey,
Hey, Tyler.
yes.
Just at the last meeting that I was at, I think it was July, because I was out for August, I had committed to reaching out, and I did hear back from the Marvin Ridge Choir, and they are willing to come out and perform again. And I did reach out to the band, but still waiting to hear back from them. But the Olivia, the head of the choir, said she'll be checking with the kids and they're available.
I got you. I appreciate that. I think we have gone in the direction of we have like a live music. We have a band type come into play at the Christmas tree event. I think we're going with like the bluegrass route on those, and we've been in contact, and I think we're about to book those guys. But I definitely appreciate you reaching out to the band. And
So are we still going to have them perform, or?
no, I believe just because it's going to be a 2-hour event, I believe we're just going to have this band play for the.
They do usually do the kids every year, but the choir, if they can get them there.
We'll definitely have to talk about it. Then I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, no worries. I just need to, yeah, I apologize. I thought that was one of my takeaways.
No, it definitely was. I appreciate you doing that, and we will have to talk about that a little bit further.
Okay.
All right, and I think that's it for event updates right now. Updates on the trails and greenways. Tullamore Phase 3 was just completed, and Hunter, help me out here with the geography. That is from Walker's Bluff sidewalk to the end of the Meta Vista was Tullamore Phase 3.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, and so that's completed. We're about to start the connector from the preserve to Meadow Creek.
To Marvin Creek.
To Marvin Creek, not Meadow Creek, yeah, Marvin Creek.
To connect in at Painted Turtle.
At Painted
So you'll
Turtle.
have a sidewalk connection. Basically, there's a trail of Painted Turtle that's like off the dead end part of Saddle. And that's going to tie in with our preserve internal trail. So in theory, if you live in Marvin Creek, you would be potentially be able to access the Village Hall via internal trail network.
I actually have a question about that because I live right there. The current Marvin Creek Trail, the concrete one that goes from Painted Turtle around, there is a spot on that when it rains, the sidewalk, we need some drainage underneath. Is that a Marvin Creek development? That one is
That would be
theirs.
Marvin Creek HOAs.
Right, okay. I will bring it up to them.
And then we're meeting out with surveyors today we're trying to then been in the process of connecting the Tullamore Trail with the Amber Meadows Trail. The Amber Meadows Trail starts off of Tom Short and just basically like a straight shot to a dead end. So trying to connect those two. We got a meeting with the surveyor today, and Tullamore has already granted us any, shift in easements, new easements, and I'm trying to work on getting a easement with Amber Meadows to connect the two trails. So hopefully we'll have some words or some new information on that in the next month or so.
Cool. And that's pretty much all we got for that.
Any questions? Anybody? Okay. Nothing under unfinished business, is that true?
There's nothing there.
Wow, that's nice. New business, okay. So the first thing we have on here is discussion of planting requirements for new developments. This is something I have been thinking about. I'm wondering if it's possible for us to, I don't know if the word, prohibit, that's the word, I was going to say disrequire, prohibit builders in new developments from planting what is considered invasive species. It's pretty easy to find lists of such things. And why do that when, quite frankly, I'm going to spend the winter pulling up invasive plants all over our trails and greenways because they've been planting somewhere. So I don't know what our reach is in that or ability to make that a thing, but it seems like it's at least worth talking about. Privet, which is ligustrum, Iliagnus, which is autumn olive, Russian olive, all the olives, but not the good eating olives. Liriope, monkey grass, those are, Nandina, those are the big four. And I haven't seen, I can't imagine any builder is adding English ivy to the world, but you can certainly buy it at Lowe's. So those are the big ones. Because, I mean, and there's reasons for them. They're great, you know, privacy things. The two first ones are great for privacy type shrubs, and they stay green all year long, but they spread their love everywhere. And our woods are full of all of those things.
When my parents had their Toll Brothers house built, you just named the entire
The palette.
palette
Yes, the palette.
of their planting.
Yes, yes.
So I'll add on this a little bit from a zoning standpoint is when we are in the process of rewriting our ordinance completely.
I know.
So this is an opportunity to actually, you know, provide some recommendations, stuff that I can take to the consultant. The second part of that, you ask kind of like, what is our influence or kind of, you know,
Yeah.
because I know that we've talked about like Broadmoor and stuff, like certain neighborhoods that have already been approved. I really just, Broadmoor is the only one that was approved 5 years ago that's under construction. You know, those are ones that I can personally reach out to and
Right.
see if they can, but if there's already an approved plan on that and it does comply with what our ordinance states now, I can't force them
Right.
to not plant. But, you know, as we go through this rewrite, it's definitely one, like I said, we can give some recommendations and have them incorporated in. The landscape buffer screening chapter, actually, we should get our first draft back this month, in like next week.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect time to go ahead and provide some of these recommendations, because when this goes to planning board in 2 weeks, I can take some of this to them, and we kind of discuss it, and then we can work through it on there. On top of it, I can send you guys copies just to get some more initial feedback and comments on.
And I gave you the 3 websites that I'm using. The North Carolina Invasive Plant Council is one. DOT actually has some really old 2008 things, which I bet somewhere along the line they have updated those and added some things. And then the North Carolina Native Plant Society has a really good list. They categorize theirs a little bit more, like the really bad and the less bad, I guess.
In our ordinance now, do we have a list of recommended plants? Or just, this is what the opaqueness needs to be, this is how much buffering it needs to be? Don't say yes and no.
It depends on what section you're looking at. In our tree section, we do have an approved, like, canopy and understory list, but those are mainly referencing, you know, tree plantings. Landscape plantings with shrubbery and stuff, it's more based off of opaqueness and spacing and density per se, as in how deep. So I don't think, there's nothing really in there in the ordinance specifically prohibiting some of these.
But we don't have a plant list per se. I mean, it would
Not
be really long.
Not for landscape, no, we
Yeah,
don't. And that's
I
what I'm saying, we don't have anything that we prohibit from like landscaping wise. We have like I said, approved like tree list, but
Okay, but not a plant list. Okay, so, well, because I was thinking if we have a list of plants, then we need to remove whatever we don't like, and then, but if we don't have that list, then maybe this group can come up with, these are the ones that we would really prefer that you don't use, and bring that list back to Hunter. He can bring that back to planning board. They can incorporate it into the ordinance.
Yeah, and it's a relatively short list, because a lot of the invasive species are things that no one would plant in a million years. No one's going to plant Japanese honeysuckle, right? I mean, but it's everywhere, but builders aren't gonna plant that, so that shouldn't be on the list. But the 4 or so that I just mentioned, there, at least 3 of them are on the Broadmoor plan.
Okay.
And miscanthus would be the other one, it's a grass.
So if we can come up with a list of ones that we would say, these are not allowed, but then if you guys, or if you, Christina, could, the 3 that are on the Broadmoor list, instead of these 3, would you guys be willing to do these 3? They're comparable, they're whatever, they'll do the same job, and then Hunter can take that to them.
Yeah, and that's what he and I have been talking about, and
Perfect.
that's where I kind of left it, if they want, he was gonna see, what their thought was on that, but yeah, I can make some.
I mean, I would just go ahead and say, listen, here are the ones that are invasive, we would prefer if you guys wouldn't use these, here are some replacements,
it.
and then just come to them with a solution already, so that they're not like, well, do you think maybe, and then they're like, well, now I gotta go figure it out. We've already figured it out for you, here you go.
Yeah, it's easy.
On a silver platter, and we would really prefer if you do this. Now, again, Broadmoor can say no and tell us to go, take a hike.
But I feel like I've at least tried, because
you've-
I'm just gonna be cleaning up the mess later. I
No.
mean, we all are. right?
Agreed.
So-
So if we can do that specifically for Broadmoor, but then as we're updating the ordinances, if this group can come up with a list of, these are the ones we really do not want planted, then we can at least incorporate that into the ordinance.
Yeah, okay.
And
And,
just to confirm, we're talking about new subdivisions only, not individual properties.
Yeah,
or
new subdivision that have a landscape
new
plan.
plantings in existing subdivisions.
No, new ones that have to submit a landscape plan for approval.
Okay.
yeah, but to your point there, I was just gonna add, I am trying to raise awareness about this. I put the last 2 articles I did in the newsletter were about this, like, don't plant these, and then pull up the ones you have, to your point. Because, I mean, you'll find, if you have any woods at all in your property, you'll find all of those things I just mentioned, and you didn't plant them, whoever, planted the birds, I guess, planted them. So some more awareness around that would help too, because, yeah, all of those things that I just mentioned, you can buy them at Lowe's right now, probably, and some other bad things. So, we're doing what we can. So if that's okay that we move forward with that, if you guys are okay.
Oh, I'm totally in favor of that, especially with the developers. I mean, I think that if you have any homeowner who goes and gets a landscape designer, if we're gonna raise awareness, we need to do that with the landscape
Yeah,
people,
absolutely.
because if you go to anybody and say, hey, redo my yard, those are gonna be on the ballot, guaranteed, because it's just a knee-jerk reaction around here to use.
Well, they're
you
easy
know,
to find still.
Because the HOA requires screening. Ligustrum is fast, it's easy, it's green, and it hedges. I don't know a yard around here that doesn't have it in it. So we have our work cut out for us, but as far as new developments are concerned, I totally,
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm
Well,
totally on board.
figured you guys would be okay with it. Okay, anything else about that? Next thing is you, sir. Go. I will send him I can send you a list, well, I think I sent you a list of the top bad ones, but I can be more precise
Yeah,
about
I
that.
was about to say, like, if the board,
And the replacements.
they can do one of 2 things, like either you can just send them to me so I can incorporate them in, or if the board wants to take like a formal action on it.
You can do either one.
You could vote something in November. No, is it October? It is October, oh my God.
It is all month.
Yeah, you could vote something at your guys' November meeting, and then I can make sure that those are fully incorporated in for the November planning board meeting as well. It depends on how you want to do it.
Okay, so what,
So it would be in the form of a recommendation to the planning board?
Yes.
okay,
Okay, yeah. As far as the new subdivisions go, I think we could feel comfortable in putting something like that forward for the next meeting to give planning board some direction around that.
okay. And so is that something I should work with you, Austin, on to make sure I got?
If you want to draft something, if you guys want to do this, make this more formal, you can really do it either way. Either you can just be okay with sending Hunter a list that he can incorporate, you guys are review in the future, or we can put together a formal list, bring it back to the next meeting, let you vote on it formally, and then progress it on to planning board. Totally your choice.
Whichever's faster.
probably you just sending a list
Yeah.
to Hunter.
I mean, that's
Done.
a little faster. Okay.
Done. Forget formality. Okay. That's okay. It's mostly done. Okay, you're up then, about next year's schedule.
All right. I can actually put it on the screen.
Oh, that'll help. This is gonna be molten until like tomorrow.
So the schedule, the proposed schedule for next year is really standard. It's the same format we see every year. Waiting for the screen to change over. Oh, that's not it. Okay, it's putting over to one side, but that'll work. Same convention as normal, first Tuesday of every month, 9 a.m. I've got a joint meeting. I'm requesting you guys do a joint meeting with council the last Tuesday in March. We did that the same, this is what we did this past year. What I'm asking you guys right now is, do you see any dates that need to be changed? Is there any that needs to be pushed off a week? Do you guys know of any conflicts that you're gonna have where you wouldn't be able to be in attendance? We just wanna make sure
April
We have a
2nd
quorum.
is spring break.
which one?
April 2nd is
April
spring
2nd is spring-
break.
Okay. Would you guys wanna push that off 1 week to April 9th?
That would be fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I
Okay,
don't
so-
get to do
Well, do
spring
any of
break
us
in-
have spring break issues?
I don't, but.
I mean, I do,
You do.
but I don't have to be here, so.
Up to the board. Do you wanna, you can leave it as is or push it to April 9th? Totally up
If you
to
don't move it, I'll know how you feel about me being in meetings, so just don't say. I'm just kidding.
Well, then in deference to Kim, we should definitely move it.
Yeah, I guess we're
Oh,
gonna
I
get
don't
in
care.
trouble.
I don't care.
I don't care either way. I was just,
I can call in for it.
no, I think we can move it.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It literally does not
Yeah,
matter to me.
I'm open either way.
All right, so let's move it. Let's move it to April 9th.
Don't all jump
Let's
on
move
it
it
to
to
move
April
it for me. Jeez.
Don't
And
lord
then
it
do we
over
also,
us.
do we want to do the January 2nd one? Is everybody back from whatever you're doing for the break?
School's back in, so, but I don't know if
That's-
everybody's back in.
Horrific, isn't it?
Yeah, one of mine's not, but that's. 'cause
I mean, I'm
he's on
fine
a weird
moving it to the
schedule.
next week.
No, that one's fine. I'm going to be around.
It's always on that.
I'll still have one at home, though.
Yeah, I would prefer to leave it like it is, because the 9th, I've got something going on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So am I moving April?
Yes, let's move
Please.
April.
Moving April, keeping January as is.
Yes.
June, July, August. Okay, September, is that right after Labor Day?
It is, it's the day after.
I can't even find September.
When you mentioned that joint meeting with council, is that also the same time they do it with planning board? Because I think I also remembered us kind of having a joint one with council and planning board.
No, that was a number of years ago. We haven't done
Yeah.
a joint one altogether in a long time.
We don't really do one with all the boards together. The planning board will have a separate joint meeting with council, and I have it proposed for the planning board for Tuesday, March 5th at night. So Kim's going to be on extra duty that day. She'll get to spend the whole day here.
And they don't have school that day. Great.
Any other changes?
So we're leaving September 3rd as well, yeah?
Are you guys good with that?
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine.
The August 6th meeting is National Night Out. We usually have a meeting on National Night Out Day every
Yeah,
year anyway.
it seems to
so-
go that way, yeah.
And is everybody okay with July 9th? Because it's a couple days after the 4th. Is everybody going to be in town?
Yeah,
Okay, just want to make sure.
yeah, that's well after. Okay.
So if April 9th is the only change, I'll just need a motion to adopt as amended.
I move to adopt as amended.
They're fast, these Jennifers. Do we need to vote?
You need to vote.
Vote.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody's got to make the motion.
I
She
moved.
did,
Oh,
And
you
then
moved
she's,
it, okay.
they're fast.
So I'll make a note of
Gen
that.
2.
I'll make that one change. I'll send the
Gen 1,
schedule.
Gen 2.
I'll send the schedule out to you all, and you'll go ahead and get calendar invites from me, and
Perfect.
so we'll get that done. April 9th.
Okay, Tyler, you're up again. It's like the Tyler Show.
Okay. So, talk about the friendship tree this year. So it'll be same as last year, November 1st through the 30th, the dates. We are making a little bit of some changes here. We have a young men's volunteer group that is going to come in the evening, every evening for the week of November 27th, the last week of the month, and December 4th and 5th. We're gonna have people come in all month in November, and you can pull your tags and fill it out with us, and then you can go shop, but we're gonna have everyone wait until that final week to come do the drop-offs, so we don't constantly just have people rolling in and storing back here in the community room. This year, Mayor Polino, every other evening or so, is gonna bring his enclosed trailer out here. We're gonna load him up, and he'll take it back with him. But yeah, that's pretty much the changes we've made. It's gonna stay the same, except drop-off is only gonna be that last week and the next 2 days.
So that's November 27th
Yes, starting
through
now.
the 5th
Mhm.
is drop-off?
Yes.
And you said that young,
But not over the weekend. Monday, Tuesday,
Well, the
Wednesday.
door's got to be open. Right?
Yeah.
you said the young men's group, they're processing the gifts.
Sorry.
Say about that young men's group, they're processing the gifts?
Yes, they're gonna be the ones packing and wrapping. It's a mother-son volunteer group, and they're gonna be helping out.
That your group can?
And you're being really clear that bikes need to be assembled?
That was an issue last year.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Bring 'em in one
The
piece.
beauty of an unassembled bike is it fits in a box about that big, but yeah.
Well, and the good thing is, we will be here as they are dropping off, so we'll be like, no,
Good.
appreciate you buying it, but it's gotta be assembled. See the note right here and the instructions?
We ended up taking, I would say, close to 15 of them to Ace Hardware because Bob knew a guy, and he put them together.
You guys were very resourceful last
Yeah, hey, you do what you got to do. No one brought candy, though. That was very disappointing. Because we couldn't give it to the kids, so we were going to eat it, but there wasn't any. So it was very sad. I bring my own.
But yeah, that's how the Friendship Tree's gonna run
Sweet.
this November. Any questions? Anything?
Tyler, let
Cool.
me know if you need help with anything.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'll be letting you know. All right, thank you.
Okay, then this is discussion for the ideas for the heritage at Marvin Park, and I don't even know what that is, and I don't even know who's supposed to talk about it.
It's right outside of your neighborhood, so we
All
thought you'd want
that,
some
yeah, okay.
input.
That's not what we call it, but okay.
What do you call it? What do you call it?
I don't know that what you call it can be said
There's children in the room. Yep.
All right, well, we're gonna have about 2.5 acres, 2.225 acres. Is that what you're giving me?
2.25.
2.25, 2.225, that's 2.25
2.25.
acres. What do you guys wanna do with it?
Where is it located? And why are we getting it?
Because they're donating the land, because they have to have open space in the neighborhood, so they're
Who
gonna,
is they? Which one?
Jones Homes.
We can pull it up on
Yeah,
the screen.
pull it
Yeah,
up.
show us where it is. That'd be great, please.
You're on the server, right?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Christina, you know that
What?
little, you know where the new roundabout's coming in?
Yeah.
In the old Meadow Lark, and there's that little space that's just kind of left
A
there?
little triangle.
Joe was like, that's not the park, right? And I was like, oh, bless.
That is part.
That is the park. It's not.
It's part
It's
of it.
like this big.
Well, so while he's pulling that up, and I think I sent you this, but maybe I didn't. So now that they've done the on-ramp from Meadowlark onto the roundabout, there's that little piece of asphalt that's left. What are they going to do with that?
They'll tear it up.
Good, because someone will drive on it, I promise you. So, okay, we assumed they would tear that up. Then what do? Please don't plant grass on it, because then somebody's got to mow it.
Probably gonna plant grass on it.
Then who's going to take care of that? You see what I'm saying? You plant grass, you got to mow
I
it.
don't know who that street belongs to Meadowlark.
Not in, no, we got paid, no, it's not ours.
It is yours.
Not that part of it. We actually sold that easement back to DOT.
Then DOT is gonna mow it 2 times a year.
Oh, that's going to be pretty. See, I would rather
Now, who
just
owns
let.
it, Hunter? Does DOT own that little weird,
Can we do, what would you rather have?
What,
them
that
do,
little triangle
gravel
piece?
it,
not the
or-
triangle piece, where the old Meadowlark Road is? After they tear it up, who owns that?
I'll have to check. I mean, because it was a private road, private right of way in the first place, it's really still gonna be contingent upon who. I know there was a whole legal dispute on who actually technically owned the road. So if that would ever get resolved, and that's,
Well,
Because it
Christina said
wasn't like public
Christina
right of
said
way.
They donated it
No,
to
we didn't do
DOT.
it. We got paid for it. We got
no,
a certain amount of money to sell the
sub
easement to
planner.
DOT.
But they're not using that part of
I
it.
got it, yeah, but they had to use the other part of it. So that, I mean, that bit won't even, that will not connect back up to the road. You
Oh,
don't
no,
want it
no,
to,
no.
right,
Right,
please.
go MHG
yeah.
submittal.
Yeah, so that will go away and the road goes this way instead of like that. It will go this way instead of here. And so that little piece, and it's a pretty small piece of asphalt. I mean, what, it's 100 feet, it's nothing. Maybe a little bit more than that.
I mean, I can look at the construction documents later, but I don't know who owns it.
Let's figure out what's gonna go there.
We
Because
own that-
it's
we
gonna
do-
go-
We technically now own that triangle piece too.
Yeah, because that's gonna be,
Who is we, Marvin?
Mm-hmm.
That is, I mean, it's ugly there. It just needs, all that schmutz needs to just get ripped out. Sorry. There's
Yeah,
trees
the
in there,
intent
but they're
behind it was
schmutzy
then to
trees.
potentially do like a welcome to Marvin sign.
Yeah, that's fine, but I mean, all that schmutz's gotta go.
okay, so see, so we're looking at the pink, whatever shape that is.
Yeah, make that
here's-
bigger.
Okay, hold on.
Come on, Austin, make it bigger. Let's go.
Give me a second.
I gotta remember there's little ears in the room.
Here, can I just help for a second?
Yeah.
You can't see your arrows.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it really is. Wow.
Oh, there it is.
We're almost there. We're getting there.
Okay.
Okay, so see where the road used to be? I'm pointing with my pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems to me that you guys really would kind of own across there. Somebody's got to,
We may actually own that road. I'll double check. The village.
whoever
Because
owns the pink bit.
this little donated part, this little thing right here.
the current schmutzy part right
Yes, that was donated to us, or let me phrase that.
Nobody wants it.
Right-of-way dedication.
No, no. You are correct on that one. No, what, part of their original approval, and I'd have to go back here through their rezoning site plan. They, yeah, I was sorry, I'm trying to point at it with this here. That little cutout piece is basically part of the land donation per Jones Homes. So we will own it. I mean, I guess we don't have to accept that little piece, but I don't know why we would leave it to Jones Homes with the HOA, because they're not gonna maintain it.
We can make it pretty.
And there's renderings, there's renderings in this, rezoning, sorry, proposal that kind of just shows what it could be like. I know like they were, once again, it was all kind of conceptual, but they proposed like a horse statue, like some type of like dedication type thing for that little parcel, like kind of as a way, like basically an entry monument gateway type thing into the Heritage District, because it is kind of first main intersection coming from South Carolina. It's really I guess the second main intersection, if you want to be technical, coming from Mecklenburg County, because I'm going to consider Marvin Joe Carr the main one. But still, it is a predominant intersection in the village, especially when this roundabout gets finished. So we can, I guess in short, we can discuss two different things here, or discuss two different things over time, is, what do we want to do with that small dedication piece, but as well as, looking at what potential park improvements we have. As you see there in the yellow, left of the purple, that's about 2.25 acres of land that is being donated to the village for future park improvements.
You guys have a trail running through it, though.
It does. They have,
And between lots 59 and 60, did we discuss that as a potential connection from the neighborhood to
No, it's
that site?
so originally, that is a sewer force main easement. It could be a potential connection because they aren't doing a force main. So,
You want to say that a little clearer for those in the audience? Say that again.
I said that could be used as a potential connector. We haven't said there, I will mention that Jones Homes is working on their construction documents now with moving forward with the sewer plans that they have arranged. But with that being said, that was originally, I think, either a 20 or 30-foot wide easement running for their force main, which was originally going to be from their pump station up to the roundabout to then feed in the gravity. I'm sorry, Austin. So there is a little wiggle room there that, yes, that could be potentially used as a like sidewalk connector piece. And even when it was going to be a force main, we already kind of talked with the intent of doing some type of sidewalk path there. I will mention that there is a lot of opportunities here with, this amount of land, especially where it's at. It's going to be walkable from this neighborhood. It's going to be walkable from about probably 80% of Marvin after the Marvin Loop is finished. And so I know that I've had preliminary conversations with Kim on this, and because I was thinking, okay, what about access? Like, are we gonna have parking? Is it just gonna be a park where it's more of a walk to and use amenities? So it's like, that's everything we have to think about. Like, it's kind of like, what type of amenities do we want here? Because it wasn't really ever intended for us to have parking here. Because of access, for one thing. I mean, we could potentially talk with DOT or whoever and get access off the fourth leg in that public part of Meadowlark, but that was never the intent. So, that's kind of, I wanted to start having these discussions with PR&G, because it is going to be up to the village to develop. The developers only donating the land. But it would be nice, as they develop the land, if we potentially start looking at what type of amenities and stuff, and we start developing plans, we might be able to get some extra stuff done by them during that time. So it's like, the more we can think about and look forward to now, we may be able to save some actual taxpayer costs currently as well.
One question I have is the orange areas, right? Those are the undisturbed buffer zones that were required of the development, correct?
So the orange is, yes, it's a 100-foot vegetated buffer, 75 foot of that, at least on the rear, I can't remember if it's all the way around, is
So
no
as-
cut.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I was gonna say is no cut, and then they do have, can you back that out a tad?
So as we look to develop that parcel, we're going to have to contend with some of those same ordinances of our own. Would that undisturbed buffer area also be required in whatever we're thinking of developing this into?
No.
Things like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not, because it's how the uses are.
Okay.
Now, granted, you don't want to then just cut all these trees down and have a big open field of like park and something, and then you have just a stop of tree buffer. But in the orange is a linear walking trail for the neighborhood. It basically, there at the lot 68, there in the cul-de-sac, there will be a trail that runs up that sidewalk, or runs out that cul-de-sac, comes down, ties into the orange, and goes all the way around. If Austin will let me grab this. Now, can I have your mouse back?
It goes all the way around to 40, goes to 40.
Yeah, I'll show you.
You're scrolling through my email now.
Oh. I should have just put it on this one. Yeah, this one actually, even though this is, let's see if I can get this one. You see, I know it's hard to see, but in their 100 tree, but it's an approximate location, but basically they're gonna have it running from, yes, 40 through their tree buffer up here. This is also one entrance only.
Across the.
And will that be a natural path?
I think it's still open for discussion. I can't remember if they
says
agreed
down
to an
here,
asphalt
paved.
paved trail.
No, I think that for the
Or did we-
internal, I remember this meeting, for the internal paths.
We did do paved, didn't we?
For the
Asphalt.
internal paths, we said to leave them natural, but for the external one, we talked about asphalt, because if we're talking about this making the Heritage Park accessible to people who live here, it needs to be literally accessible. A lot of people can't walk on gravel paths.
And I remember we added low voltage,
Bikes.
low voltage lighting
Kids with bikes,
With
you know,
timers, I believe.
with timers.
wobbly people.
And I believe the section of the trail that would run down Meadowlark, or run
We teed
parallel,
up.
would be.
We had screening.
We had screening, and I think that one might have been, they might have made that one natural surface.
Yes, I think you are right.
That's
I think,
why I remember there was a distinction between what we kind of considered internal to the development and what we considered
Oh.
sort of more public
is tough.
access. Yeah.
Yes, no, I do recall, when I brought this to PRG last year, I guess this was probably in May, June, it's going to be a paved asphalt trail up until the village park, and then that southern portion on the village park that runs down Meadowlark Lane is going to be the natural surface, and it's supposed to, there's going to be some additional screening, and it originally was going to go to like the Meadowlark property line, and Meadowlark, this was identified in the PIM, and I think even during this meeting, is that even though putting that trail in, it was like, you didn't want to leave an opportunity to, you just have a path that ends that then just dumps out onto a private road of Meadowlark, so then we had the developer pull it up into the cul-de-sac where it's a continuous path, and then add some kind of screening along that as well, as just to make sure nobody kind of veers off the path.
It says here, that southern portion is crushed concrete without lighting. So there's no lighting along coming down towards Meadowlark. So at night, no one's going to be there. It's going to be pitch black. That was what we were.
That's just fine with us.
Yep, it meanders down and into the cul-de-sac.
And then the last, will you go to the renderings? Just because I want to get like, so scroll down. It's in the same document.
Oh, okay. Where's my mouse? Keeps jumping around.
Sorry, I should just pull this up on the, go
So,
more.
so is the asphalt
Here.
trail, that's something that the developer is putting in?
Correct, yes. The developer will install that asphalt, the paved trail and the crushed concrete, and then it will be dedicated to the village for maintenance. But it will be a public trail. And then there were even conversations, and I'll have to double check if this was one of their conditions of their approval, that they were going to do along the paved portion, like little linear workout trail stuff, like where, and I've seen them like on greenways, like where it's like, hey, stop, do like 10 push-ups or something, like, random those things, or they have like little machines and stuff that you can do, so it's kind of like you're getting more of a physical workout than just from walking as well.
I think I know how to swim my lip out.
And so are these all,
These are concept drawings.
but different, they're all in different, I mean, one's got parking.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying, this was,
It's 2.25 acres. I mean, how much
well, that's what I'm saying,
you're
is
gonna
like,
lose to parking?
this is all open for, it can.
Oh, yeah,
move,
I get that. I get that.
If, depending on what you want here, and that's kind of, I guess, what we need to look at first, is kind of what are the key amenities that we're looking to have? I think when I first started, I'll be 100% honest, I mean, I know that things have changed, like, hey, an amphitheater. Now, once again, I know that it's kind of neighborhood, but it's just where the location's at and where it could be faced at, but then it was like, okay, but parking, I don't want to necessarily then have a lot of cars there. So, I mean, there's just it could be, just some internal trails. We have a pocket park at Marvin Gardens. I don't want that. I don't want just trails. I want to have some amenities to it. If it is just, playground, but I think there's some just nice recreational amenities that we can probably recommend, look at, and this may be looking even further into our Parks Rec and Greenway master plan.
Yeah, we can look at that. The concept drawings, that little weird piece that we're talking about, that looks terrible right now, that's what this is down here. Like they show like a statue, some seating, and then the rest would be trees. That is not that. But that was just concept drawings.
Can you show a picture where it shows the roundabout included? Was one of that one down there?
Let me zoom in on that. Oh, too far.
Because I'm going to go ahead and alert you all, I mean, we all live real near this. That roundabout is going to be hopping all the time. There's just going to be cars like constant. It will be busy. Those
Ed,
cars
I know
look
you
tiny.
mentioned like the entrance monument, and I do like that, because one thing we need to consider when we are talking about what to do with this is that with this roundabout, I mean, Joe Kerr is kind of the first thing in Marvin that you get to on Marvin Road as you're coming south, but this is going to look like, hi, this is the entrance to this Heritage Park District. We want it to be pretty. I mean, that might go without saying, but it should be entrance E.
And I don't
I
want to
think.
get like way off subject / out of purview, but was there anything in the signage master plan? Okay.
We have heritage district signs that would, I mean, Christina, you're on the committee, that would be here. The idea being that we could put the burden of funding like a monument sign to the heritage district on a future development that would go into the heritage district. If like if
Mm-hmm.
the former Harvard property were to develop, we could go somewhere along there. So we would have plans for signage in the area.
Okay.
And we have that also funded through the GO bond proposal.
Can you do a split screen? Is that possible?
What do you want to see this?
I want to see this, and I want to see the physical, like the
Drawing,
that first picture
me
that
to
we
pull up
had
on
with
here?
the yellow and the
Pink and the yellow.
pink and
and-
orange.
the drawing, yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Because if I'm looking at this,
We're switching over.
I'm fine. I wish I had touchscreen where you could see what I was doing over here.
Yeah, Austin, why do we have touchscreen on these? Uh-oh.
You have to turn on. Oh, yeah, that's.
This computer sucks.
That one's on the chopping block.
Which?
You want me to buy you a new one?
It's past its prime.
I'll tell Christina you need a new one. Not that Christina, she doesn't care.
I care deeply about your computer.
I was about to say, no, I've
And I'm
got
pretty sure if it was a Mac, it would be
I already gave you
fine.
guys the day off after your holiday brunch, so. After the brunch. I don't know if Christina's gonna agree with me, but I already gave you guys off. Again, I don't get paid the big bucks, so.
The holiday schedule's on your consent agenda at the next meeting, so I'll let you make any changes you want to make.
I mean, I know it, but I don't.
It's fine, I got it.
Do you want to side by side with the, like the,
The pretty concept and the orange, yellow.
okay.
Do you have a pointer? Can I get a pointer?
Oh, where's our, yeah, doesn't this have a laser
I
pointer?
don't think that's a laser pointer.
I thought this one had a laser pointer on it. Uh-oh, what'd I do?
Nothing, it's not plugged in anything.
I thought we had a, I thought we got the one with the laser pointer.
I don't know.
Bless.
All right, give me 1 sec, because this computer is like really slow. But I would like I said, in this meantime, like I do want to, I guess, prioritize like amenities or what we're thinking. I mean, you guys can chat about that.
So, I mean, I agree, it needs to look pretty. We can't leave it looking like the Pocket Park at Publix, because there's nothing there. So we're gonna have to do something to make it look pretty. We're gonna have to maintain it, we know that going into it. But I agree, it's at the entrance of the Heritage District, so it's gotta look nice. So, are they definitely putting in the exercise stuff throughout the linear trail?
I know that it was discussed, and I would have to go back and look at, on their, I mean, I'll try to look on the sketch plan, I'd have to go back and maybe look at the development agreement, because
Right,
I'm,
I mean, I know that we approved that years ago to do
For the
along
park.
the loop.
Or the
Oh,
park.
I thought we were gonna do it along the loop.
Oh, maybe it was.
But we never got funding for it, so it
Right.
just kind of died on the vine. So if they're gonna do that on the linear park, that would, I mean, I think that's good, and I mean, maybe if we have some arbors, like where people could go and sit, and, I don't know, I'm throwing stuff out there. I don't want a splash pad, sorry.
Doing it a multi-purpose lawn, like we were talking about further here.
I know, but I know nobody here loves a lawn. I mean, I think we're gonna have to have some lawn.
I like some
But-
lawn for, yeah. I mean, I
But-
realize we don't want to take care of a lot of grass.
Well, I don't even care about somebody taking care of it, although I wouldn't want to do that either. I think one thing we can talk about is parking. Could we just say we're not going to have parking there?
Oh, I don't want parking there.
Well, one of those things was
I
parking.
know, that was
I
conceptual.
know, and like I said, that was,
Because, I mean, I
was,
can't even, I mean, that just makes
Okay,
a
no
bad
parking.
situation worse.
No
I
parking.
mean, a busy situation
No,
worse.
no parking. There's no place for parking. Meadowlark doesn't want parking there. We long ago said no parking.
Good.
So it's going to purely be walkable. So like Hunter said, with the loop, once it's done, you're really going to, I mean, I can get up there in 3 minutes, like from my house. Like, it's not going to take me very long, maybe 5.
And as you get more development in Heritage District, there's really an abundance of parking.
Right, throughout the district that people can park at and
Well,
walk.
And no, I think that some parking throughout the heritage stuff, depending on what kind of businesses are in, is
Yeah.
obviously going to be necessary. Not everybody who would want to take advantage of businesses would be able to walk. You know, I mean, any disabled people or whatever, I don't know. But this is not a business thing. This is a recreational thing, and you're
You're going there to walk.
going there to be.
Well, you're going there
yeah.
to be in a park and,
Driving there is just as
okay,
counterintuitive
you.
to that, and it
Okay.
takes up space.
so,
I know this
I really
isn't,
need a pointer.
I know this isn't the best. Here, you want the mouse?
Yeah, because it's got
Use
the,
it on the
it's got
screen.
the star.
Okay. So this area, yeah, where the old road is, here, there, that looks like that would be here. So it looks like we are getting rid of the road and then planting all of this fun stuff here.
That is purely conceptual, but good.
No, I know, but that's what I'm seeing, because otherwise, we literally have like, stop.
I know,
We
sorry.
literally have like this much,
Right.
like, it's like a little teeny
Well, it's a
narrow
little bit more
space.
than that, but because the road, it looks like the road hits about there. So this may not be.
That far bottom right corner, that white crescent is the white of the,
It can, if you want one picture over to the right, that's the zoomed out version. So
Okay.
you can see it right there. around
Yeah,
there.
so the road was going like that.
So, yeah, but it's like cut in like that. It's like a little, I mean, I was just out there.
It's really
What,
small.
Friday?
Oh, it's small to look at.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
I mean, yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry,
Just a,
It is little, so what I'm seeing here, I know it's conceptual, but if this is actually ours,
Oh, yeah, John can't hear you. Let me get your mic.
can he see me?
turn one of those mics on. Austin, just turn that mic on, right?
Here.
Yeah.
Well, I can't hold him closer. Can he even see me? Okay, John, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can.
Sorry. I thought I was talking loud enough. So, can you see me or can you just see what's on the screen?
No, I can, I see you and what's on.
Okay,
the-
so if you look where we're saying the old Meadowlark Road is on the right-hand picture that I'm looking at, coming down, if that is actually our land.
At least to the edge of the road.
Up to Scott Lett's property.
Okay.
To the east, right? Then it looks like this bottom, on the left-hand picture, this bottom right picture, it looks like we can do some plantings in there and make that corner more vegetative once that road gets ripped out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I'm understanding?
That's what I'm understanding.
Hunter, is that right? Okay. So we don't just need to think about the Heritage Park. We really need to think about where where the road is getting ripped out, where we have that current little triangle, and we just need to know how much we have and how far down it goes.
I think our goal for that one should just be, and I mean, because it's, who knows what it's going to back up to when everything else develops, but it's a good entrance point. It's a small thing. I think just entrance monument and pretty trees and
Okay,
plantings.
I agree with that. Pretty trees.
Pretty trees.
Although I think you're also going to want it to, because it's a roundabout and the driving is the important part, you have to be careful about line of sight there.
Yes, absolutely. I think if there's a monument or the trees need to be tall enough or far back enough but
Yeah.
whatever.
Nobody's coming from the right. You're turning right. Nobody's coming from the right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll still have to comply with any
I mean,
type
yeah,
of
we'll have to comply with
NCDOT
DOT
line
until we own
of
it.
sight training.
And then we'll have to comply with ourselves.
And there's always.
we still have that same
Whatever we
standard.
find that we have to do, there's always a plant solution. But I mean, as far as concept of use goes, I don't see it being used for anything, but I do think that would be a phenomenal, like,
too dangerous
entrance
to go
monument.
over
I agree. So,
Yeah.
so pretty signage, pretty plants.
Yep.
Pretty trees, nothing
Nothing
being
functional.
utilized in that area. Okay, I agree with that.
tables.
No
No.
picnic tables,
I agree
no,
with that.
no
So,
function.
Hunter, as they're ripping out that road, can they go ahead and rip out all that schmutz that's in that little triangle? Because it's really not worth saving.
I don't know what is actually in there. There are a lot of privets in it.
I was gonna say, it's probably a lot of the invasive
That are
stuff you're
probably being
dying to get
strangling
rid of.
everything else.
Yeah.
But there might be a couple of trees in there. It's hard to tell.
Do you
But
want to, do you want to look at
I'm
it?
gonna
and-
look at it
And just
in a minute.
let us know? Because if they're ripping out that asphalt there, then they might as well just just go ahead and clear it out for us.
I need to confirm, I had the construction documents for the roundabout,
Okay.
and I don't know where I'll have to find them on the V drive, because they should have, like, their final phase of that should identify what DOT plans for that.
And
so it's
right-
unchanged. Go ahead, John.
right now, just looking at some overheads that I'm looking at that corner of Meadowlark Lane, the existing one is that, you know, northeast corner of it, there are some pretty large trees there, it seems, currently.
On Scott's property, yeah, Mr. Lett's property.
Yeah, but there's like a little triangle up there now that they have, like, between Meadowlark Lane and the new
Yeah, between the asphalt and
roundabout.
the roundabout.
There's this little,
And I would suggest that if there's anything in there worth saving, it's probably going to be dead in 3 years anyway, because of what they've just done to it. This is even smaller than you think. Yeah, that's what she's
I'm
been saying.
It
I
is-
promise you it's small.
It's little. Because
It-
Joe
this
was
is
like,
really
this isn't
misleading.
our park, is it? And I was like, no, it's on the other side.
Yeah, this is pretty misleading.
That's literally like
It makes me think that maybe the shape of the roundabout's a little bit different than this
Yeah,
drawing.
it's little.
I know. I drive by it every day. I know it's tiny.
It's little.
Oh, yeah.
like 5 or 6 trees.
But if you add the road in, you actually
Those
nearly
trees are not
got
gonna
out a
survive.
third.
I just wonder if there's anything in there worth saving. That looks a lot more lush than when I was standing out there looking at it.
It's looking pretty rough right now. And what I'm saying is because they've done so much work,
The roots, I mean, again, it's on this little teeny.
yeah. But all of our points, if we get to add the road in, which I hope somebody does, 'cause otherwise you got a terrible looking road sitting there and somebody's gonna plant grass on top of it,
And
which,
somebody's gonna drive on
terrible.
it.
But if we could plant trees back in there that were appropriate to the space, they'll be fine. Because they'll make their way and they will not have construction all over them.
You'll probably get some trees, you can probably some of the donated trees that you guys.
Possible, yeah, they
Yeah,
might
'cause
be a
the
little
marsh, the
small.
marsh line of trees, like, that's what that does best, is it's all oaks. I mean, if you want an oak, they got oaks and maples and all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, some native trees in there that
it's
kind of
all
go,
natives.
because they cut down a giant oak tree. I mean, enormous. I'm glad I was not in the country when that happened. But it would be nice to add that sort of thing back in there. And they'll be beautiful year-round. I mean, they would be nice.
Okay, so I know that that's not the park, that's our little entrance triangle, but I think we're kind of all in agreement. So Hunter, if you can find out, what do we actually have? What is, not right now, but like going forward, especially when they're still out there doing work, because I mean, I hope, again, they need to rip that road up or somebody's going to drive down it or drive out of it or.
My guess is what's going to, and I don't know if this is how it's going to work, but they're going to open up the roundabout to us, because you made this point yesterday. There's a huge elevation difference between what is currently Newtown Road and that roundabout, and they're going to have to work on Newtown Road to, make that work. They'll have to, but
no.
right now, that is where I drive to. That's the only way out of my world.
I'll take.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to happen.
It is.
Yeah.
So if you can find that out, and if we can get them, Christina's gonna go look at the trees. She'll let you know if there's anything there worth saving. If there's not, as they're ripping that road out, just see if they can take everything out of that little triangle. Just get it cleared out for us so we don't have to pay to clear it.
Okay.
And then we'll come back in with you can go out there and look at it after everything's been removed and figure out what we can plant there, how it'll look. And then we can keep talking on the Heritage Park. Because that's not going to happen for a while.
Well, hold on, just, because what I think would look best there, because Mr. Lutt has got all kinds of trees on his side, is that it kind of flows into that for now. And so we have big trees and understory trees, and then that gives us our color, like dogwoods and stuff. Not just plant a bunch of dogwoods in there, they'll die without the overstory
Right.
trees. So that we have those layers in there.
I agree.
You know, a sourwood tree just for kicks and giggles because they're beautiful in the fall. That kind of stuff, that's a little bit, because I know those grow around there. So there's a lot of options there, easy to
So
get.
you
I
guys
think
can
I would
work
just,
on that
yeah, I think I
after we
would
get
just do
everything
all
cleared
native
out.
trees,
Yeah,
use the
yeah.
marsh stuff.
And just do trees and mulch it and call it done, because they'll keep everything else down. And then you don't have some guy, one of his guys out there mowing around a bunch of trees, which is the least
No, because
fun
then they just
thing in
cut
the
the
world.
bark, well, and it damages the trees. and
Yeah,
affects
exactly.
the soil.
You guys are working on how to fill the gap that the road currently takes up?
Yes.
Yeah, once we know how much of a gap we're trying to fill between the other property, we can
Yeah,
make a
you probably
plan
haven't
for
even
what
there's no reason for you to even be down there.
I
but-
can't even get down, I mean,
Oh, sure
I
you
have to
can.
come all the way around just to do that.
Yeah, I know.
But seriously, go from here, you've got an hour break, drive down there. Go look at it, because you can go and just pull down the old Meadowlark Lane.
Meadowlark,
That's what I did on Friday, and parked there and got out, and walked around and talked to everybody and said, oh, it looks great, look at that, but yeah.
Do we know when it's gonna be done? Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I did ask the guys, and they said they were pretty much on track for middle of October.
Okay.
I did remind them what day it
So
was.
we were told October 15th, when we were out there on Friday, the guys were like, So,
The last thing I'll mention on that linear park, so the trail that's being installed through by the developer, kind of in their view shed buffer, it does say will provide, the trail must provide connectivity along Newtown Road and contain at least 2 pedestrian stations consisting of benches and landscape sitting areas. So the developer has agreed to, along that trail, would have 2 kind of pedestrian facilities.
but just benches, not like any exercise stuff? Because if not, then the exercise stuff in that area would be cool to be able to do. Have some arbors, maybe, you
I'll
know,
have
some-
to go back through my notes. I mean, I know that was the original intent and proposal, that they had those like workout station along the trail, but I'm not sure if it got, if we decided to not do that. I don't know, I'd have to go back, but we did, I mean, I do
Been a
know,
long time
in their
ago.
development agreement, they have agreed to at least like 2 pedestrian amenity areas per se, that, I mean, it does say like with seating and landscaping.
From a auditory perspective, working out there makes more sense than sitting quietly, because it's
Yeah.
never going to be quiet, you know, in the middle of the night, maybe, but that's going to be busy there. It's still busy.
So Hunter's gonna get more information. He'll bring it back to us in the November meeting. We'll keep thinking on what, we'll go online and look at different parks and see what amenities they have, and we'll bring back some ideas for the next meeting.
And I would like to just propose, based on what we talked about, invasive, obviously, we wouldn't plant invasive things in there, but to try to consider as many native plants as we
That's
can,
fine.
because that's what we took out there.
That's fine.
Well, not really. That would be a windfall. If we added natives
Good point,
back,
yes.
we would be winning on that one, because I did look at that piece of property before they started cutting it up, and because I was gonna go and
You were gonna go
gather some
pilfer
stuff.
stuff,
There
yeah.
was nothing to take.
Nope.
There were some ferns, and everything else was well, not the trees, but a lot, just invasive. It was amazing. And the property beside of it is full of English ivy. And it's coming across that road. The minute that road is gone, that English ivy's gonna be over there, so it will need to be taken care of.
Okay.
And I can put this back on the agenda once we get their construction documents, because that might be a good time to go through some of those, because that's where we'll know what they're proposing along the trail, also within their kind of areas of their landscaping and buffering and all that stuff.
I would just keep it on the agenda now as
Continues.
unfinished
Yes,
business. We
yeah,
can
good
keep
point.
talking about it, we can update on the little triangle, we can update on the park, kind of where we are. I would just, until we start making a decision, and as they're going through this process, because I know they're working on it, I would just keep it on the unfinished business from here on out.
Okay.
And if we don't talk about it, we don't talk about it. But I think we have our marching orders for November, and then we will, Hunter's got his direction to bring back to us for November, and we should be good.
Cool.
Good.
Okay, is that everything under new business? Think so. Okay, Mr. Austin.
Okay, first, the action items for today. Let's see, Christina,
Homework. I said homework, yes.
yeah, your homework, work on that list of invasive species that you're gonna recommend to be prohibited from new developments. I'm going to amend the meeting schedule to move the April meeting to April 9th. I'll send that to you all once that's done. You guys are gonna research ideas for this park, and we're gonna talk about it at the next meeting. And I have more here somewhere.
The other thing, there's no.
And Christina and Jennifer are gonna work on plans for plants to fill that gap where Meadowlark Lane used to be. That's all I've got for that. I forgot to attach the ongoing list here, but I've got it pulled up on my screen. We really don't have.
One thing to add to that, Austin, Tyler, is he gonna reach out to me and just so I have some direction on choir and the band?
Yes, good point. I forgot to write that down. So yeah, so Tyler's gonna coordinate with you on the choir, music for the event.
Yeah, and just one thing about that, the band that you have, are you intending for them to be out on the porch or actually inside the barn?
Haven't necessarily made the call yet. I was kind of leaning more, depending on the weather, I'm going to lean more towards them being on the inside of the barn, kind of in the corner. It's a one-man guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he don't take much space then.
That's what I'm saying. He's a one-man acoustic
It's
band.
not really a space issue, it's a volume
Noise
issue.
issue,
Yeah. It's a
absolutely.
reverberation issue. Yeah.
How are the acoustics?
Yeah, how are the acoustics? I'm gonna tell you, they're not bad, because it's wood.
So for the ongoing list, we have the bourbon and barbecue event on here. That was what we were originally calling it. Tyler's pretty much got that worked out.
That's what you're calling brew Q.
Brew and Q. So
It's
I'm gonna
hard to
go
say.
ahead and take this off if that's okay, since we're pretty much,
Because it's
we
done.
finalized those events. Have we sprayed for insects, applied mulch, and call 811 for pocket park maintenance? That was on Public Works.
Matthew, he's talking to you.
My bad, man.
It's okay.
I do that too, don't feel bad.
Have you guys sprayed for insects at the pocket park yet?
Not the pocket park.
Okay.
No, sir.
Can I ask what that means when you spray for insects?
You guys put this on here at the August 1st meeting. It says spray for insects, apply mulch, and call 811.
I don't think
Figure out
we
We
what's
think
going
maybe
Not
fire
ins-
ants?
It was fire ants.
Yeah, so let's
Okay.
let's be careful about that. That's two different things.
on. You want
Yeah.
me to change to fire ants?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
fire.
mean, you can kill fire ants all day, I don't
Yeah,
care.
no, it was fire ants, and we were gonna mulch because that pocket park is
But
an
we were also
ongoing
gonna
maintenance
plant some
discussion.
stuff.
Oh, we haven't.
That's
got
why we were
approval
gonna
for
call 811, right? Why else are we calling 811?
Yeah, we need to know where the lines are, yeah.
Because
if
we're
there
gonna
are.
plant some trees.
Yes.
Yeah,
were
because
gonna
we got
plant some
marsh trees that we can put
That
over
we need
there.
that need to go in the ground.
By November,
Fall, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, we got like,
Kinda on it, yeah. We're kinda on it.
even December. Actually, Keith would tell you that we could go through February or so, but whatever,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, he knows, but I don't love that.
Fire ant killer has been put out.
That you have done?
Yeah, that has been put out. The mulch and the trees, I haven't heard nothing else about it as far as go for it.
Okay,
So that's where we're stuck on that
Okay,
until I get the green light for us to do it.
okay.
Do it.
So I mean.
well, we need to give him a tree to plant,
well,
and then
yeah,
the mulch
well,
after.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Has,
We
so-
did.
Actually, I think it would be easier to put the mulch down and then plant the trees in it. Don't you think? Pull it away and put them in there? That he can spread it with some kind of machinery.
This one of them things is gonna be,
6 of one, half a dozen of the other?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So it don't matter how we do that,
Okay.
whichever way, but I can call today and get a ticket started for 811, and they've, usually within a week, they're done.
Yeah.
So
Everybody's
let's
done
do
it.
that so we know where everything is. Then, have you guys given him the list of trees and plants?
No, we don't, I don't even, if we're gonna do marsh trees, I don't even know what we can get a hold of. I mean, I can go find out, though.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
let's,
Bob is Tara was the,
She's, yeah, not there.
well,
and
let's,
she's not there anymore?
Is the mulch a go?
the mulch is a go.
Because uh,
She just moved to a
what do
different
I
job.
charge that to?
We got a new
Bunch of
guy.
mulch? Okay.
You can charge it to me. I make the big bucks here.
So we'll do an update at the next meeting if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, but we need to know, because Matthew's gonna start, they're gonna start working on this, so can you
He's
guys?
gonna get 811 and he can get the mulch, and if he has the mulch, but since it was 6 of one, half dozen of the other, if he has the mulch before we have the trees, he can spread the mulch.
Yeah, it don't really,
I mean, as I say, it wouldn't hold up for us.
no.
And we can get the marsh trees, it's just, when Tara was in charge of that, she only wanted to go through Bob. I mean, maybe she would go through you, but she didn't want to go through me, because she wanted to keep it to like one person, but if Tara's not there,
Yeah,
then,
we have a new guy, though.
we have a new guy,
Yeah,
so
I
we
can
just need to
take
get
care
their
of it.
current, we just need to get a current list from the growers.
Well, and that changes daily.
Exactly, and that's
the
why
point.
I can't
That's why.
speak to what they have, is
So here's what I would like to do. You're gonna do the 811, then you're gonna do the mulch, and then let's you and I talk about what you think would be good trees there, and I'll see what I can get.
Well, let's just do, I'll tell you what.
Or I can go the other
Let's reverse
way.
that, yeah, let's
Okay.
reverse it, because we can speculate all we want, and then they don't have it.
Okay, I'll do it that way.
Is whoever the new person is, if they can reach out to the growers, find out what we currently have
How big,
available.
what size trees you want?
Big ones.
As big as we can get, and that may indicate what we get,
So,
because
Yeah, they're
if
not
the
gonna be
growers
huge.
come back like, oh, well, you know, I
Oh, I'm
have
not gonna
red
do that.
oaks, and they're this big,
No, no,
then
no.
we skip that, and
Yeah.
he's like, we have, you know, I don't know what, you
The
know, a maple, and they're
caliper, the
this.
caliper that Keith O'Haron used at Arbor Day at all the schools that we planted, I can go look that up and figure out what that is.
Okay.
And, because they were, you won't mow them.
I mean, since it's stuff we get for free, as big as they've got.
Yeah. The bigger the tree though, the more we're gonna take care of it.
A little bit, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
So
then
we're gonna
more
have to
prone
have a
is
watering
shock,
part
But
of it.
I don't know if we're even,
Well, just to-
if boxes and stuff are even a
Let me throw
possibility.
this out there as well. You talk about the watering, that's what I just talked to him
Yes.
as well. We're actually looking at getting a water trailer or a water tank.
Perfect, yeah.
Because when we plant the roundabout, we're gonna have to water it till the plants are sustained.
Yeah,
So we can do the same here when we
Okay.
get it. That's no trouble.
that's even
get it
better. They
established,
won't
that's
need they
perfect.
won't need a lot. They'll
No,
just,
no,
the
no,
first
no.
couple of years, they're gonna need a little bit of, perfect.
Would you guys like a formal agenda item on the next meeting? for this?
Yes,
Okay, so we'll
Thank
add
you.
that, we'll add that to the agenda.
but we're gonna work on it in between.
In between, we're calling 811, applying mulch, and what are you guys doing for the trees?
We're gonna see what we can get.
They're calling the
We're
donator
gonna, yeah, we're gonna
people.
talk to the growers and see what is available, and then we'll make a selection there based on availability and size.
And you're wanting this planted within the next 30 days, correct?
30 to 45.
Not the trees. I wouldn't plant them within the next 30 days. No.
Okay.
60 days.
Yeah. It's because it's too
Yeah.
warm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just end up
Hey,
having to water them
Matt,
more
I
if
wouldn't
we do it.
open the ticket then because those markings are expire in 30 days.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, the 811?
Yeah, they only last for 30 days, but however, if they go ahead and mark it now, we'll know because there's no building on that property.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not
So
gonna
there won't
change.
be no
Yeah.
new wires or
Yeah.
anything, no new pipes or nothing.
Yeah, good point, good point. Yeah, then we get, at least get that out of the
At
way.
least get that knocked out of the way.
Because we might find that there's something running right through the middle of it, and that will change what we do dramatically, but I don't think that's what you're gonna find. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the longer that mulch sits out there, the better. Because it will just make that crappy soil,
Do you want the Carolina brown like we got here?
I want, like, with no dye on it, whatever, just
Okay.
like regular old mulch.
For the sake of time, can I ask?
Yes,
you
go.
to do the details after?
Yes, yes, please.
Tyler was gonna move forward with the Easter egg hunt and Moms on the Move events. He's already started Moms on the Move. You even started planning for Easter egg? Okay. I'm gonna keep that on here. I'm gonna take Moms on the Move off. Last two things we had on here, we have Eagle Scouts and Girl Scout projects for the Pocket Park. I'm guessing we're gonna keep those on hold for now until we figure out what we're doing with the landscaping there. Okay. All right, so I am good there. If you guys are good to move on to board member comments.
Okay, anybody have comments? Jennifer?
I
Jen?
think I've exhausted my comments.
No, you haven't. John, do you have any comments?
No, thank you, I'm good.
Okay, me either, we're good.
All right, so
Okay.
we'll need a motion to adjourn at 10:15.
So I make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 10:15.
Seconded. All in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I'll get the hang of it.
Thank you, everyone.
You know the address at the Pocket Park?
Hey, John, how's recovery?
It's day by day. It's
Yeah.
already started the PT, so I'm a little more than 3 weeks out, and I'm starting.
Oh! We really do care about you, John.
I meant to turn him off from the public.
Everything.
I don't know that I have his.
His cell number?